Hello, it's me again. You can't get rid of me. I'm like a bad penny. I just keep coming back. Hang on, let's try and rotate around. Don't know why I need to rotate around. There's nothing to show you. Hang on. We'll just quickly whiz over the other side and wait to see if anybody joins. What we'll do is just get the chat up. Hang on a sec. Let's just stick you in the clamp because there's something I need to do here. So we've still got two of those chips there. Stan's trying to make a go for it. Just try and straighten up a little bit here. Yeah, I want to do a follow-on. I had some lunch there. I want to do a follow-on to the previous stream. Let me just get the chat up. Bear with me. Open that, pause that. And when it's ready. Hello, hi. I've got a few people already. Joseph Neal, hi. Jan Srodek and Mahat. Nice to see you guys. I'll just pop out the chat, which makes it easier for me to see more messages. And we will wheel over the other side of the room. I'll need to come back fairly quick just to charge the phone up, otherwise we're going to end up losing the power if not careful, because it's not had a massive amount of time to recharge itself in between streams here. So a few things, let's just catch up back with the Amiga. The interesting thing is when we tested this before, you know, we swapped those chips over and we swapped the ROMs over at the end of that video there. What we didn't do is let the boards cool down, because remember, we've been soldering in the area here on these boards, and temperature difference is going to affect, you know, changes to impedance around there, which can change things. But also, we didn't test the A board, which was originally taking 6 seconds before it went to, you know, gave up looking for the IDE, with Kickstart 3 ROMs. And actually, there's something interesting. Having let it cool down and having retested this now, you'll see, if I switch this on, I'll put you at the screen first so you can see what's going on as it boots there. So I'm going to switch it on. So count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38. That's about the same. See? So it was all about temperature. It's about letting the boards cool down. And clearly, Stephen was right, and whoever else mentioned, Kickstart 3.1 has got that longer delay. So that's amazing stuff, because, you know, in that stream there, it didn't look that way, did it? It looked like, yeah, we gained, on this A-hole board here, we'd changed from 6 seconds up to about 16 or so with Kickstart 3 ROMs, but what I then did is test the 3 ROMs and the other board. So, yeah, having tested both boards now, with Kickstart 3 ROMs, you get approximately 36 to 38 seconds of a delay. So that's the end to that, isn't it? We've answered that, no worries whatsoever. So the next thing I was going to have a repeat look at here was the Spectrum, 48K Spectrum. So I'm not sure if I can show you, but yeah, I trimmed the ribbons down. You might just be able to see in there, the bendy bits have gone, so they're just pointing straight down into the things. That fixed the keyboard issues for the moment. So it may still end up needing a membrane for this. The Future was 8-bit cart is still flaky as anything with this Spectrum. I mean, I'll see if I can just show you. We'll load a game on this. I'll connect this up. I'm trying to think what I've done with the power lead. Just bear with me a second. Let's just pull the... Oh, hang on. Yeah, there's two things I was going to do here. The first thing is sort out the power supply, because I've been using a Mega Drive power supply in the stream so far for testing this. And you know what? After 20 seconds, if you put your hand in here and feel the metal heatsink, it's so hot you burn your fingers on it. So I don't want to keep powering it that way, especially with it being warm weather here. So I've got, I'll need to move the camera again here, a Spectrum Plus from my friend Dr. Andrew here. So the nice thing with this is it's got the polys and everything. So if I just put that down there a sec, sorry, it's going to be bouncing all over the place while I just get this out. I thought if we borrow the power supply out of this, we'll test it first, just to make sure the power supply is all right. Move the box out of the way. It's going to be a bit safer because the voltage is going to be less. It's going to be nearer to 9 volts probably. So you can see we've got a plus to look at here. So I figure while we're here, we can do a few things. We can use the power supply to power that, and test both that, you know, the Lothrak DivIDE and the Future's 8-bit DivMMC IDE Future, whatever the hell it's called there. And we can also take this to pieces, have a look at the inside of this, and use its power supply. So let's just pull that out. Looks like someone's wedged the thing in there, haven't they? Yeah, I'm not sure if that originally had holes on the bottom like that, but it does now. Yeah, let's pull that lead out. So we'll start by just checking that power supply, I think. Sorry, camera is wobbling whilst I do this. So let me rearrange things a little bit here. That's what I'm doing, just moving things out of the way. I've not got masses of space here. And if we just sit that there, I'll plug this power supply in. It's got gooey stuff on the label there, you know, the sticky things like this here, they go all weird with age and gum up the cable. But if I carefully try and plug this in over there, I'll unplug the Amiga power supply. Ugh, that wire is so gooey. Seriously gooey. Might not be a long stream this, by the way, it's just really a follow-on more than anything. We followed on there with the Amiga, well let's now follow up with the Spectrum. So I've got the power lead here, let's get the meter. I'm so pleased though, I revisited those two Amiga boards after having let them cool down just to see what the difference was. It's just proven everything we talked about this morning really, in terms of why it wasn't waiting for the drive. Sorry, you can't see the meter now, can you? Let's just pull you over there a little bit. Not sure if these are sensor positive. Yeah, you can see it's still high, 12.77 volts, but I think under load that'll probably drop to 10 volts or so, 11 volts maybe. So let's move the plus out of the way, and we'll connect this up again. We'll just test it this way with the Lothrak card connected to start with. Card, it's not really the right way of describing it, is it? Cart or interface maybe. Yeah, so you can see, hang on if I can get the thing to balance without falling over. You can see a crooked angle there, hang on. I'm sure that's going to give way, that stand in a minute. You can see it's to press the key, press return, return working previously. So the keyboard is now working. If I press the non-maskable interrupt button there, you can see it brings the menu up. The display is not great. It's better than it was though. You know, if you think back to when we used an RF, it's awful. And again, I'm echoing what I said in the last video. You can see, I can see here on the camera, lines flickering down the screen like that. I don't see that to my naked eye here. It doesn't appear. What I do see here is some drift on the colours, you know, little bars on the edge there, the colours kind of drifting. So that just perhaps shows that some of those other variable adjustments there need adjusting to make that a little bit better. You've got some drift on the chroma. So if we use the arrow keys, go into games, press return. Yeah, we couldn't do that before. Hang on. Why am I in the Dizzy folder? I don't know. Let's load. Let's try school days. Catch up with the chat in a sec, guys. I should have picked something else really, because I've got to go all the way down to SK now, haven't I? Yeah. There we are. School days. Z80. Press return. Oh yes, working fine. Sweet. So yeah, the colour looks awful. Seriously, it looks really bad. Well, it's not so bad now. It's stabilised a little bit, but I mean, you can see here on those stairs. Can you see the red and green bands sort of rotating? So it needs some adjustment. If I point you down here, you can just about hear the sound clicking away there. So yeah, the sound is working. And I think there's probably sound on Operation Wolf when you're firing. You do get like a little click noise or something when you fire on Operation Wolf. But it's so quiet, you can't hear the darn thing. It's one of those things you might want to consider doing an audio out mod to one of these 48 gig Spectrums, if that's what you're choosing to use. You know, I'm pulling our what's his name, Phono lead out of it somewhere. for audio maybe, and then you can connect that up to your TV as well, because yeah, the speakers on these are so feeble, they're really quiet. So just looking at the chat again here, we've got Electronash has joined again, the new Commodore Sinclair CPC. Yeah, we've got C64 here as well, so I'm not ruling out we might have a quick look at that in this stream. I might not do much with it, I don't know, we'll see. See once we have a look inside this Plus, and we'll have a play around with this the Future is 8-bit thing, see if we can get that working. Because that was the other thing I meant to say a minute ago. Since we've got this, we can have a look at this, see if this works. If this works, why not try the DivMMC Future with that? If it works with that, that's going to give me some confidence that there isn't some weird, you know, issue with the cart, and it's actually the 48K rubber key Spectrum that's the issue. Beach 73, are you now a stream? You are now a streaming king. Yeah, well, I've got nothing else to do. I've got no kids. This is the sort of stuff I would be doing. If I wasn't streaming this is what I'd be doing today. This is what I do all the time in my spare time. I do all this stuff. For me, it's easier in some ways, this stuff, because I'm not having to edit it, am I? It's a bit more embarrassing though, because I'm not geared up to do it, and the camera keeps falling over, and yeah, all various things. But if we stumble past those things and people can, you know, endure them, it's just some extra content, isn't it? I'm hoping to see other people doing more content, whether it be streams or videos and things. Take my mind off things, because when I stop doing this, the first thing I do is I hit YouTube and go, what's going on YouTube? And it seems quite quiet at the moment, surprisingly. So someone said they prefer the YM. Yeah, I prefer the sound out of the YM you know, chip though as well. 128K. Can't believe I owned about 4 toast racked 128K Spectrum in the 90s/noughties and sold them or gave them away. Yeah, I wish you'd given me one, I'll tell you. But yeah, you'd be asking for it back now. Honestly, if you stream stuff constantly, I'd gladly watch it all day. Thank you, Electronash, much appreciated. Not enough camera falling over, to be honest. Yeah, I'm deliberately trying to avoid touching it because it will fall over. Anyway, let's have a look at that Plus now. I'll take the Plus back over to the Mac because I need to charge the phone as well, so just bear with me. So I'll get that, we'll wheel over here. The last thing I want is power problems again with the camera. It was on about 64% before I started streaming. There we go, so it's plugged in again. And we've got the Fire plugged in. It is charging. It's 58% now, it's just told me. So let's put that there a sec. Bring the Mac over, we'll have a quick look inside that. I'm going to switch that 48K one off, just because I don't want it to overheat. It is warm today. That's one reason why some people swap out the 7805 on a Spectrum for one of those DC to DC things, you know, so that you just don't get all that heat dissipated into the Spectrum. So this is interesting. It's got a repair thing on it. Job number 3667, date 20th/8/90. All parts fitted. 90-day warranty, basically. And it's got a seal. Yeah, so it's been serviced, doesn't it? It's got a bit of solder. Can you see that there? Oh, hang on, it's not. It's a bit of Christmas decoration or something. A little silver thing. Anyway, let's get rid of that. So let's break the seal and have a look inside this puppy. It's got hairs and all sorts stuck onto the feet here, on the excess parts of the glue on the feet. So let's just get the screws out. One, I think it's about 5 or 6, maybe 7 screws on the underside on these, are there? It's in very good condition, this Plus, actually. I'm quite happy again that Andrew's been able to give me this. I'm also super happy they didn't end up where they were headed, because he was literally going to skip them. His daughters were helping him clear his house, and one of them was like, "I'll just throw it all away. Nobody's going to want any of this stuff. It's old, you know, no one's going to want to play with his old computer things from this age. Just throw them in the skip out the front." And actually, she was starting to do that with some of the stuff, and he was like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, don't throw that away. Chris will have that. I'm sure he will." So yeah, thank you very much to Andrew for thinking about me and ultimately saving the life of these systems. Yeah, there's that one there, the warranty one. See if I can peel this off. Is it one of those ones that, yeah, it's a proper warranty seal thing, right? Need to try and find out where the screw is now. Can't see the darn thing. Where is it? Is it? It's here. I think. Is it? Is that a screw? I can't tell. Yeah, that looks like a screw. We can remove that label later, I guess. Could just leave it there as a bit of history, I guess. Anyway, let's carefully see if we can work out. Oh, is there another screw now I'm missing here? Yeah, that's it. Let's just see. Ooh, it's one of the nice boards, that. The later Rev ones look. Oh, hang on. Membrane issue. Can you see this here? Look at these. That membrane is going to be not working anyway, I think. Let's just carefully lift this up and attach these. It's got the better membrane in the sense that it's not the horrible plasticky one that, you know, cracks. This is like the flexible ones. Forget who made those. There's a different manufacturer. These are the boards made by Samsung or something. It might not be Samsung, but there's a later manufacturer, and you can see the difference straight away. Actually, it's an issue 4. Sorry, can't see that, can you? Issue 4S. So a slightly later, or probably a much later board revision there. So let's just put that down. Yeah, but my concern, you know, and you can understand why. Just have a look at that. Can you see? It's gone all black up here. So yeah, that's probably not going to work, is it? It might do. We'll try it anyway. But whenever you see one of these that's never been worked on in recent years, the first thing you need to think is it's going to need a new membrane. It's pretty much a given. The chances of not needing a new membrane are far less than the chances of it needing a new membrane. Just charging the Mac again here because my Mac was going off a little bit. You thought about getting Specky next, Chris? Yes, I have. They're just a bit pricey, aren't they? It's a lot of money. What is it, about £150-ish, is it? I can't quite remember now. It might be £120 or something. But the Spectrum Next does look really nice. It really does. And what I like about that as well is they've gone old school with everything about it. The design of it, you know, the aesthetics it's got. You know, if you look at the style of that, I forget the name the guy who designed this, but they've got the same guy on board, I think. There's been a number of interviews. Probably Man Cave's probably interviewed him, I would think. And I think the Retro Hour may have done an interview with him, perhaps. But the guy who designed the Spectrum originally, the stylish buttons and the case and everything here, they've got him involved, and it looks very, very similar. It's got you know, aesthetics there that remind you of the Plus and the 128. But also, they've gone old school in terms of making it upgradable. You've put some sockets in there for additional RAM. You've got a little pin header or something at the back there to connect a Wi-Fi module up, and I think you can connect an Arduino, not an Arduino, a Raspberry Pi Zero. Oh, another donation. Thank you very much, Deeply Cynical. Much appreciated. He says he's still working Monday to Friday. Oh, I'm sorry to hear about that. Not only because it's nice to be off work, but you know, if you're having to go out somewhere and stuff, that's makes everything really difficult, doesn't it? It's pretty stressful. But hopefully we're getting into a better place with all this stuff anyway that's going on. Hopefully we should start to see the curve flattening. So just looking at some of the comments here, I've missed so many, sorry. As I say, if it's something urgent or something you've asked me and I've not seen it, please just send it directly with @GadgetUK164. Bloody hell, I didn't expect a second stream today. Yeah. I am wanting someone to look at my Amiga 1000 and soon I'll have an Amiga 2000 to play with. Yeah, I mean, you know, I don't want to offer to everybody because I'll just get overwhelmed with things, but certainly I could consider looking at Amiga 1000, but it's going to have to, if you did want me to look at it for you, it'd have to go to the back of the queue because I've got a fair few things I need to get through here. Mostly those Archimedes. I need to really get on with those over the next few days, and you'll expect some streams, and it might be tomorrow's stream, maybe me starting to remove things from one of those boards. It might be a bit boring, but we can waffle and chat and things amongst ourselves while I'm doing it. And I might, if I get any speed up, I might be able to shoot through it fairly quickly. Oh, James76, thank you again for the donation. That's amazing stuff, absolutely amazing. Can I request some Neo Geo stuff for a stream? You could have had some faulty Neo Geo stuff, but I have fixed every single Neo Geo that's come my way. I have none. You saw all those MV1As and things, and then around that time I think I got a load of stuff out of the loft. There was about 6 or so boards there, some of them were MV1As again, and I fixed everything. So it's like, I have no faulty Neo Geos here. I've actually got about, I don't know, 7 or 8 in the loft, and I've got 6 or so in the garage. You know, I've got like the 2 slots and the 4 slots and the 6 slots, and everything works. But what we can do on the Neo Geo is I've got to look at that memory card stuff actually that I forget the name of now. He sent me some memory card stuff, hasn't he, for the Neo Geo. I need to assemble one of them. One of them was going to do a little mod myself, stick an NVRAM chip on it, so we can do that. That might be interesting. Chris, he's got Johnson. Chris got some ZX ICs and transistors for you. Email sent. Oh, thank you very much, Ian. Much appreciated. I'll respond to that. I'll check my email shortly. Any kind of thing like that, any donation, doesn't matter what it is, it's always super, super, super useful. Deeply Cynical, I've got an AES with fuzzy RGB video. Yeah, again, I can perhaps have a look at that, but again, it might need to go to the back of the queue. Just because I've just got so much stuff, and people have been asking me to do things, and I've been like, yeah, I can have a look at that, but don't worry. But it might be, you know, a month. You're going to give me 2 or 3 weeks at least before I can even accept it. Including Zarkos, actually, he's got a couple of PC clone type. Well, they're not really clones; they're like Archimedes clones. It's like a PC motherboard with the PC architecture, but it runs ARM stuff. It's got an ARM processor and what have you on it. So I was going to look at those as well, but again, that's right at the back of the list for the moment because I need to make space. I need to clear through what I've got. So anyway, enough waffle. Let's have a quick look at this now. So it's just a 48K board, isn't it? It's a different rev, but it's interesting. This has been socketed here. I'm guessing that this was where, and you've got a different chip there. Look, this is where the fault was on this, because they didn't. It looks like whoever serviced this didn't remove the CPU or ROM, or the upper. Is it upper? Yeah, the RAM here. You know, the extra 32K. It looks like it's in the initial 16K because that one there's different. I'm guessing they just removed it all, did some chip swapping and went, ah, it's that one. You know, that one chip. And that's why we've got a different IC there. I've never seen one like that before, actually. Can't really see the... Oh, let's just clean that label. It's got like a purplish ceramic thing with a slit stuck on the top to identify what it is. I've never seen that IC before. So, Electronash, Chris, you mean program chip? I'm not sure. Not sure of anyone at the moment. Hang on. Pre-programmed chip. A lot of the China spec was unit games from the UK and Europe, which you don't see on any of the machine. Is there anyone in the UK doing Unibars? I'm not sure if you can still get them from Razula at the moment, because I know he's not been very well, has he? There was an update on the Neo Geo forums. I hope he's getting a bit better. I've seen him posting some comments and moderating a bit, but I'm not sure if right now he's still shipping Unibars chips. Still can't really read that very well. Can you see that? Yeah, I'll look with a bit of magnification there, but is it Fujitsu or something? It's got an F there, look. Just have a look at it off camera. Yeah, I can't really see the part number. Looks like it's M68116E. There's also a code at the top that says 7940. I'm inclined to think it's the M68116 actually. Oh yeah, 8116. It's an M68116. Yeah, because the other ones are like 4116s or something, aren't they here? So it's obviously a Fujitsu or something, whatever that F is, their equivalent part. So maybe we should just go and power this up. Obviously I have to connect this one by RF and just see what this one's. If this one works, then we'll try its keyboard membrane. Its little feet are coming out here, look. There's a nice touch on those, actually. I like the feet stands. And what we're saying the other day, you know, you could get this kit here, the Plus kit, which was the shell, the keyboard, and the reset switch, and you just had to solder onto the reset thing here, and that was it. That's the only difference between a Plus and a 48K. It's all the, you know, cosmetic stuff on the reset. You know what I think of all games I played on the Plus 2, I can't think of any exclusives. Yeah, I think anything that landed on the Spectrum generally landed on the C64 and the Amstrad CPC, and some of the other lesser known 8-bit micros and things as well. But there were some games on the Spectrum you didn't get on anything else. Some of the Ultimate Player games never landed on the C64, did they? That's the one with the bug spray thing. Is it Pust or is it Cookie? But Cookie has been recently done, hasn't it? Cookie, someone that's homebrewed Cookie for the C64, but then originally that was never on the C64. I'm not sure about Attic Attack. That may exist on the C64. Anyway, let's go over there with that. So I'll unplug you from the power here again. and we'll bring its keyboard as well. Just carefully just set that there. And just go and try this. It's a bit daring, because if the voltages aren't right, we might kill something. It's a chicken and egg though, isn't it? Until you power it up, you don't know whether it works. So how do you test the power without measuring the power and having it powered up? And at that point, it's probably too late anyway. And what I could do, because this is socket, is remove all the RAM and then measure the voltages. But you know what, I'm daring. I'm just going to go for it, I think. Let's just move this one out of the way. I'll disconnect the Lothrak DivIDE from it if I can. And I'll tell you what, it's a chore trying to remove the Lothrak thing. It really is. There we go, it's off. Because the big problem with this, and the reason, yeah, you want something like the one from the Future 8-bit really, is you've got no protection here from ESD, and you know, you've got to put your hands on the back there to try and lever the thing out. At least something like this is nice and you know, commercial, isn't it? Yeah, you could do with a 3D printed shell for the Lothrak one, so I don't know whether such a thing exists, but if it doesn't, I would suggest to Lothrak, he wants to get one manufactured by somebody. So we've measured the voltage here, we know that's alright. I don't know, I'm plugging composite and need the RF lead now, spare with me. I was hoping we weren't going to have to go back to using RF again. I was quite pleased when I composite modded that 48K one the other day, the rubber keyed one, because I thought, oh great, I can avoid using RF now. I hate RF. Let's change the channel over. I'll point you up the TV. Oh, hang on. That's it. So let's connect the power. Oh my god, it's come straight on. That's a good sign. Let's mute it, it's a bit noisy. And it's not perfectly tuned in, let's just power that again. Yeah, I think that's okay, isn't it? It looks like about the normal time for 48K, that black screen. So I'll start by connecting up the Future 8-bit one. Let's plug that in. And power it on. Let's see what happens. Yeah, there's something wrong with that Future 8-bit cart, isn't there? There is. I've received a duffer, I think. Yeah, not working. Just make sure it's working again. Yeah, it is. Let's try the Lothrak one. I'll need to perhaps send that back to him and see if there's anything he can do with it, but I think they're kind of sealed, aren't they? You might need to break the shell off it and then put a new shell on it maybe after it's, if it can be repaired. Yeah, no, that one's not working either, so maybe this one's got a problem with the M1 line. Oh, I really don't want to have to socket the Z80 up. Maybe we will do. Maybe we'll do that in this stream, I don't know. Yeah, that's not right. So you can't blame the Future's 8-bit cart for this, I don't think. There is something not quite right with this spectrum here. Just make sure the RAM's all in okay. Nope. Well, that's a pain, isn't it? Let's test the keyboard out. I'll just point you back down here again while we just reconnect it. So I've tested both carts there, and neither of them are working with this one. I mean, it could just be the PCB needs cleaning up, but yeah, I don't know. It looks all right to me. We can take it out and clean it in a minute. Maybe that'll solve our problems. Let's just try connecting this. So these are the flexible ones, as I mentioned. Got a lot less chance of damaging these, but with age, these break just the same. You know, they go all black, and I don't know, some corrosion or something ultimately starts in there. So it's anybody's guess, will this keyboard work or not? Sorry, I lose my voice. Let's connect the power again. And press return. Yeah, return works. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. That's working. Not sure the true video thing's working there, is it? Switch it off and on. Let me try that true video button. I'm not sure what it usually does. Can't remember. Yeah, the inverse one's working because it's got inverse now. So let's try the next row. Go to UIOP, ASDF. Yeah, so it looks like, despite those dull looking traces there, this one's alright actually. Membrane, I think, is going to be okay on this one. Yeah, ghost keys are working. Yeah. Sweet. Yeah, so that's a pleasant surprise. Another one with a membrane that's actually alright. Just have a look at the chat. If the M1 line, the machine will usually boot, but Exodus doesn't load. That's more likely a bad connection on the edge connector. Yeah, that's what I thought, but like that other one is the connections on the board are super clean. This one I am not sure about. Let's just wheel this plus back over to the mat and let's just clean up the contacts on the PCB there, you know, the expansion connector, PCB edge, in case that's an issue. Just point down there and yeah, try not getting it fall over. I'll plug the phone back on charge. Right, let's bring them back over again. We'll get that screw out and well, I need to disconnect the keyboard again now, but I'm not as worried with this one. This is like, because it's got the flexible membranes here, these are far easier to work with. You've got a lot less chance of those ones breaking. It's where they've got like a pretty tough plastic that's, you know, those older ones have. It's like I almost want to say Bakelite, but it's not Bakelite. It's like, but it's a crusty thing, a crusty type of plastic that fractures when it's bent and folded. And because they were folded a lot of the time at assembly, that's the point where it usually breaks. Anyway, let's get this. Oh, there's no screw there. I thought there was going to be a screw in the centre. There isn't. There's screws. Can you see screws in the corners on these? On a 48K rubber key, normally you just got one screw there, I think, holding it in. I could do with pulling these feet out. Actually, the feet are getting in the way here. There we go. That's one screw out. Second screw. Is that all that's holding it in? Yeah, that's all that's holding it in. And obviously the reset switch, you can just slide it up, like that, up and off. Just flip that over. Just going to touch the ground point here just to make sure I'm not got any charge or anything building up on me. Oh, look at that, that's awful. Yeah, it's just flux really, but still. Yeah, it's not too bad, I guess. It's very fluxy there, though, isn't it? Something over there's been removed. What on earth? Yeah, those three solder points there. Oh, I see where they are. Yeah, it's just three solder points here. Maybe something's not supposed to go there. Or there's not supposed to be something there, rather. Anyway, right, let's have a look at the edge connector. Yeah, so it's pretty dirty, that, actually. Pretty oxidised. That might be the issue, why neither of them are working. Dave Curran actually had a really interesting point on his blog. Again, you know, I'm always reading things like that, and it's like following up and trying to find out and learn what I can. And I had a look at, hang on, I had a look at Dave's blog in relation to those 40K Spectrums and the M1 line and the DivIDE and all the rest of it. And Dave raised a valid point there that if you look at the pinout of this expansion slot here, the 12-volt connection is right next to, IPA's not going to cut it, look, is right next to the M1 line. And when you put these adapter, you know, memory expansions and whatever you're on there, like interface 1s and interface 2s or whatever, if you get it at an angle, you can easily, you know, it can short pins next to the pins next to them. So in theory, some of the ones that have got faulty M1 lines may well be due to, you know, a bad alignment there in the past with some sort of interface. I'm trying to find my fiberglass pen. I can't blooming see it now. Where is it? Oh, it's there. Yeah, so IPAs, as you can see, is not dinted that at all. You could use an eraser. An eraser is probably preferable, but yeah, you can see that coming off there. Yeah, very dirty those actually. It's solder coated this, so it's not like we're wearing the plate in a way. It's not gold plated or anything like that. It's just literally solder coated. You could just literally get some solder and flux and a piece of braid and re-tin this if it was really bad. I would certainly do that when you come across any that are corroded. And that blackness there, that's just the solder. You know, the solder's lead and tin there, and it comes off and it looks black on a cotton bud. So you could literally think, oh, that's dirty, I'll clean it again. And you could go round and round and round. Can you see that? Round and round and round cleaning that, thinking you're making it cleaner and cleaner and cleaner, and you're not. You're just getting more and more of the lead and tin off there. Yeah, that side's clean. Let's try and do that side. That side's a bit difficult because of the regulator there. Jonathan Wickett, John Hurtle, he's in Sweden. Oh my god, I've just seen the prices of speccers on eBay. What are they like? Have they gone up? That was a comment from Stephen, by the way, about the prices. I don't know whether, you know, some of these things I lose touch on. Some things I keep a constant eye on, especially if it's something I'm interested in, but Spectrums, I have to admit, I've not been watching. I'll tell you what, let's take that nut off there, and let's get the heatsink off anyway. If I can get that out, I can't. Let's try with the screwdriver. It's well and truly in there. Hang on, let's slip in. Let's try again. Oh my goodness, that was well and truly wedged on there. This is the sort of thing you would want to do anyway, even if you're going to keep the 7805. Take this off and get some heat sink compound on there. Can you see there's a little bit, but it's crusty and dried up. So I might just get some of that on there, but we can now get to that a bit easier, can't we? In a minute, the solder iron's getting in the way now. Yeah, hopefully you can see the difference there. Wow, really bad. And of course, it goes without saying, the other thing you should perhaps consider if you're getting problems with interfaces on these is you see all these little wires, and it might vary between the board revisions, but see all these little wires here leading to the pads. That's the sort of thing where, you know, especially if you got overzealous with one of these, you could find that it's broken at the point where the the connection from the wire joins the pad. Or if, likewise, if corrosion's got on there, that could be an issue. Anyway, those are the sorts of things you'd want to think about. But a lot of the time when you get problems with certain interfaces not working on these, it is the M1 on the Z80. I'm not sure if the interface 2 uses that as well. I suspect it probably does. You know, if you were to try and connect a mini, what's it called, those little micro drive things up, I wouldn't be surprised if that uses the M1 line. And an eraser as well, perhaps, is the first thing to consider using there, because an eraser is less abrasive than fiberglass pen. A lot of the time I'll use it, certainly on cartridges. I wouldn't just go to town with a fiberglass pen on a cartridge 99 times out of 100. Just cleaning it with an eraser, you'll find it comes up super, super clean. Anyway, that's pretty clean there. There's those jumpers I was talking about before, you know, because this is a different rev board, you can see them, that dictate, I think, the manufacturer and whether you're using the upper bank or the lower bank in relation to, you know, the chips here. 4164s, but only half working. Anyway, let's put the heatsink back on. Let me just go and get some heat sink compound. Just bear with me a sec, guys. I'll be 10 seconds. Yeah, I keep a lot of my tools and components and things in the garage, where I can have my component racks on the walls and things like that. So yeah, it does mean sometimes I've got a bit of to-ing and fro-ing. That's another reason why sometimes it can be a bit, for me, when I'm doing videos, it takes me a while sometimes, because I'm just going forwards and backwards like a yo-yo. Ultimately, I'll get a bigger house at some point. So you can see, got some of this, is it Servicol? I think it is, that manufacture this. It's just heatsink compounds, that probably the same thing that was already on here. It's very, you know, it's white. Squeeze just a little bit of that out on there. I should clean that up really and move the old crusty stuff off it, but that will do. I'm trying to think where the regulator's gone. It's over here. Oh, Camera's trying to mate with the board, look, hang on. Sorry about that. I'm going to end up with a big scratch on my phone at some point, the way this is going. Just get rid of that fluff off there. I don't like the look of that top of that regulator, either it's pretty dirty, isn't it? If I'm not careful, I'm going to get loose joints on the regulator here, underneath it. It's just a bit of dirt, look. I could just lift it up a little bit and wipe on the underside there, actually, and we'll get a little bit of that thermal compound on the underside of it as well. But I'm pleased. I'm pleased with what happened this morning. I'm pleased because I certainly have to revisit this afternoon on those Amigas, because I've, with your help, I've been able to work out what the issue was there with that polling interval. And for the people that might have just joined or joined after the start of this, I retested after the boards had cooled down, and it is taking approximately 30 odd seconds with Kickstart 3.1 on both boards. So they're both good now. Let's just clean off the excess of the sides of that. I don't want it going all over the place. I can clean up a little bit with the cotton bud in a second. That's going to go over, isn't it, on the carpet? Let's just stick that there. Yeah, so we'll just feed that under there like that. Squish that down, find the nut and the screw. It's not going to go back in now, is it? Some juggling may be required here. There we are. Yeah, so get that through there. Just turn it over. Now there is a washer here. Hang on, I'm amazed the nut on the other side. Look, I don't know how that's happened. Was the washer on that side? I think the washer was on that side. Let's just take that nut back out again. The screw rather. Oh, I can't get it out now. Stick it through the washer. I'm getting heatsink stuff all over me here. And of course the other thing you could put there, if you've not got any of that white stuff, is the sort of stuff you use on GPUs and CPUs. You can get some Arctic silver or something on there, you know. Those things kind of make me laugh to a degree, because they don't generally make masses of difference, do they? Well, they sort of do. You know, if you get something with superconductors in there, you know, silver is a superconductor in it. I'm surprised someone's not come up with a gold one yet. Arctic gold or something, you know, it costs about £500 a tube or something. Maybe gold's not as good at transferring heat. It might not even be silver. When you get that Arctic silver stuff, it might not be silver actually, because again, silver might not be very good at transferring heat. It is a superconductor in terms of you know, electricity, electrical signals. But anyway, I'm waffling now. So that's screwed on nice and firm. Clean that up. So let's just stick it back in there, wheel back over the other side of the room, and see if that's made any difference at all to either of those devices. Where are the screws now? 2 screws here. Again, don't tighten these at all, really. Just when it's, you know, it stops, stop kind of thing. You really can easily break the plastic parts of the chassis here really easy on these. See, that one's not in all the way. I just need to just go backwards and forwards a bit with that one. So, yeah, there we go, that's held in. I'm not sure if there should be more screws in there. Well, there's a couple of points here, isn't there? One over there, but there's no screws anyway, so that's that for the moment. Move that there, put those out of the way. We'll just catch up with the chat and we'll go test it again. NJR Arctic Silver 5 is compound silver, aluminium oxide, zinc oxide and boron. Yeah, there you go. So I mean, I knew there were more things mixed with it, but I wasn't sure whether there was any actual silver in it. So it's interesting, it does have silver. So my question about gold stands. And Stephen's put there, gold is an amazing heat shield. So why don't we see Arctic gold? Why is that not out there? Is it just because of the cost? No one want to buy it? Well, I guarantee all those PC aficionados, you know, the accelerator and overclock enthusiasts, they'd be all over a gold type of thing if it turns out gold's actually beneficial.
They'd probably do it anyway just because it's gold. You can brag. Bragging rights, I've got gold on my CPU. There's, paste, whatever. Feel the wrath of the missus if you mess up her carpet. Well, it's like I say, she doesn't come in here. And tell you what, this carpet is a mess, putting it bluntly. There's the odd burn mark. Sorry, you can't quite see that. Yeah, there's the odd burn mark where I've got a bit over excited with the iron. There's a bit there, look. There's lots of that. But this carpet has been in here since we moved into this house. Every other room of the house, we've changed the carpet and changed the floor and etc. But this room, we've never done. So at some point I will replace it, and that might coincide with me working from the desk, actually. Because I wouldn't want to keep working on the floor after I've just replaced the carpet with something nice. Okay, let's wheel over there. I have to disconnect it. We need to get Gadget a bench. Yeah, I have a bench. It's like I say, so that table, big table there, look. I just need to get on it. A big part of it has been routine. You know, you get a routine of working this way. This is the way you end up working. I could just imagine, if I ever went into business, I'd have get a big office space somewhere, get some nice ESD carpet fitted, and then start to work on the carpet. I'd have the stuff on the tables for storage, and I'd be working on the floor still. But as I'm getting older, that is probably not going to happen because, I'm starting to get, let's say, arthritic type things and stuff as I'm getting older here. Now, my back in particular. So that's powered on all right. Issues. Let's connect up this again. And again, this looks super clean, which it would do. It's brand new. So get the key in the right position there. Push it in. Reseat that. And I'll point you at the screen. Oh, please work. I really don't want to be messing with two of these that have got weird, not likey type problems where they just... Hang on a minute, I'm trying to get this down to stay where it's told. It won't do, hang on. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, the last thing I want is to have to do things to both of it. Look, it's not working, see? It's not working. I wouldn't even want to leave it powered on too long like that. I'm inclined to think it's the DivMMC Future, actually. I really am. There's something not right with it. Something not right with this. I'll speak to the nice chap that's donated that to the channel and see if he can take a look at it and test it. Because if we plug in, I can find it. Yeah, if we plug this in, watch, I'll show you, connect it up. Oh, this is really hard to get in there. That's one thing I will say. There we go, it's in there. Right, connect the power. No, that's not working either. So there is something wrong with this Spectrum. I'm not having much luck with these Spectrums, am I? There is something wrong with it. It isn't just a bad connection. So the question is what? Well, let's just power it on again. Yeah, I think the M1 line on this one, since neither of these work, I'm thinking this one's got probably the M1 line. So I guess that's interesting. Let's get a socket. We'll get a socket. We'll get this onto the mat. Remove the Z80. I'll go and get my, while I'm getting the socket, I'll get my spare, I think I've got a spare Z80 as well. And we'll swap the Z80 over and see if that solves the issue with this. I mean, you could argue I shouldn't do more diagnostics and things on this, measuring voltages and this, that and the other. But just the behaviour there, I think not. I don't think there's going to be anything going on with voltages. This again would need a recap. But I think it's going to be that, because it's booting up, the keyboard works. I mean, obviously we can't test beyond that. It could even be the ULA, but I think not. I think of course we could just take the ULA off the other board. What do you think? Do you think I should take the Z80 off and socket it? What do you think? Just reading the chat here. Error 42, last time I looked, +3s were £100 or so unboxed. Yeah, that's the thing. +3s have gone up a fair bit. You know, they're getting less in volume, aren't they? As more and more people start to want to collect this stuff, that's the thing, the numbers go down, prices start to go up, they start to become rarer. Mr. Wortman, terrible fire. Wow, I'm set with a couple of Harlequins. +2, +3, no worries. Okay. I presume you mean you've got Harlequins and a +2 and a +3. I don't think there's a +2 Harlequin, is there? Or a +3 Harlequin. I know there's 128k Harlequin, so maybe that's the equivalent of the +2 and the +3. I guess it's just not got the disk drive, is it? Use some alternative thing there to get a drive. Just realised I'm on top chat again instead of live chat. Right, check board for dry solder joints. Yeah, we could do that. We need to take this board out anyway, don't we? Because if we're going to stick a socket on for the CPU, we're going to need to do that no matter what. And at some point it's going to get recapped. Although I will need to order a second cap kit now. I didn't think ahead. I should have ordered 2 while I was at it. So yeah, you got a questionable solder point there. It's just got a bit of flux on it there. And these don't look great, do they? Where the RAM was, but that's not going to be... It's unlikely that's going to cause the issue we're seeing with these 2 carts here, the IDE and the DivMMC Future. Just looking at these caps here, they're pretty squished, aren't they? Sorry, can you see that? Squished down a little bit. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything obvious there. Although you can probably see clearer than I can. Where's my little magnifier gone? Where's the CPU now? It's under there. Let me just examine the expansion slot here on both sides, just to see if we've got any corrosion or anything leading to or from any of those, or any broken traces or anything. But I don't think so. Yeah, my thought is the Z80 actually. It's weird though, because I'm not at the board. One of them works, doesn't it? But not the other. The Future 8-bit one doesn't work on the other board, which is odd. But that could be something to do with it being an issue too, and the modification that has been done to that. Dave Curran, yes, TR4 failed in the past and took out some of the RAM. Are those solder joints where the ZTX transistors go? Yeah, hang on a minute. It's got a transistor missing, I think. Oh, maybe it hasn't. Maybe I'm imagining things. Let me just check the pads on the inside. Hang on. Yeah, this is a little bit mysterious, actually. Yeah, where that transistor is missing, well, not really missing, there's something missing there. There's like 3 pins, you can see that there now. 3 pins here and something not there. But there it says TR something on the board, TR6 or TR4, I think it says. There. So, was there a transistor originally on the inside there? Why is that not there? What are the implications of that? And then the 3 points on this transistor here that's next to it, if I just flip this over, can you see the middle pin there? Yeah, there you go. It's a bit shorter solder. It looks like it's not even soldered on this side. So that's a bit weird as well. But I would have thought that, I think some of these transistors around here are for the regulation, aren't they? Like the 12, +12 and the -12. And is there a -5? I think there might be a -5. Yeah, anyway, I'm just going to resolder that single point, because that needs doing. Is it a RAM issue? Try the peak command to test. Who said don't listen to them? Alternate pads for TR4, 2 different footprints. Yeah, I wonder about that. So thanks for confirming that, Dave. I just checked the Z80M1 info on timer software. Some bloke called Dave. Electron has put lol ceramic RAM. Yeah, I don't think it's made of ceramic. I think it's just encapsulated in ceramic. Stone Age electronics. Samsung have modified the board so that you can use it for anti-transistor or position TR for one of the alternatives, a different pin out. Yeah, so that's what those 3 pins are for, but nevertheless, that middle pin there, certainly on this side, doesn't look very well soldered. A lot of bit of solder there, but I'm sure that's not going to be it, but it needs to be done well here. Because I think it's all to do with the regulation stuff, isn't it? It's like, say, if that was not working, it'd probably be bye-bye lower DRAM. It wouldn't be booting and showing the black screen as it does. As it tests the memory there. I'm just waiting for the iron to heat up. It's at 220, 240. Give it a sec. Well, chips are silicon, so Stone Age Electronics is dead on. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, beach electronics, I always like to think of sand when I start thinking of silicon. Chips are made of sand. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. I'll refload all of those just for good measure. But I'm down sure that's not going to be... Well, I think that's not going to be causing the problem. I mean, I could clean this up again, you know, get some toothbrush and IP on there, but I don't... Again, that's not going to be the issue. It's just something that needs doing to it. ULA. I don't think so. Everything's going to be pointing to that. I don't know whether I dare try and attempt to remove that on a live stream. A, I might be at it for ages. B, we might lose some pads. I don't like working on Spectrums. Yeah, me and Spectrums don't get along when it comes to desoldering. They're pretty sensitive beasts. Right, let me go and find a socket for that. I think we'll try it anyway. Doubt it's the ULA. Yeah, I doubt it's the ULA. Maybe it's the Z80. More likely the RAM. Yeah. I've got no way of testing the RAM. This is the problem, isn't it? I mean, I could go bit by bit, you know, do some peeks and pokes and write things to various places to see which bits are working and which ones not. I'd test the RAM. All right, let's do that. Let's just stick that back on again because I don't want it to overheat. And we'll just wheel over there and test the RAM. The nice thing is with the membrane on this one, it's one of those, like I say, where I could connect it and disconnect it until the cows come home, and I'm sure it'll be all right. That's not the case with that rubber keyed one. With that rubber keyed one, you have to say a little prayer every time you disconnect it. Pray to the Spectrum gods. Okay, just bung that back in there, won't screw it in. Let's do that. Let's wheel over there again. It's only going to take it to do that as well. I guess that's the nice thing with, if we just do the simple test there, we'll... Hang on, RF. Lift the membrane up again. You still have to be careful with these, just to make sure you do hold it as firmly, you know, straight as you can. Hang on, as you push it in. That's it. Just connect it with power. I can't see the power now. I'll put you back up there. Now we'll do prints. Oh, hang on a minute. This ain't easy. Yeah, it is. I've got to just fight with the keyboard. No, it's extended mode on this. Symbol shift and... Oh, it's an extended mode button, isn't it? Yeah, shift. Print peak. 23733, I think it is. 255. So it's detecting the RAM. We still don't know we've got a RAM fault, do we? I'm thinking not RAM though. I'm thinking not RAM. I haven't got any more 416s to test with anyway, actually. I don't think I've got any 416s spare. You can do a mod to use maybe a 4164, but you need to start modifying things, don't you? Lifting pins and things like that, I think, if you're going to do that. Yeah, I think the fact that this doesn't work on both carts here, it's going to be the M1. I could be wrong. Could be wrong. Wheel back over there. I'll go and get a socket. We'll just quickly but carefully socket it up and change the chip, because I do have a Z80 or 2 here. I might have only one, I'm not sure. So just bear with me a sec. I'll be 30 seconds or 10 seconds. Right, back. Sorry about that. Got some sockets, and I've got my box of chips, which I think contains a Z80. Now this is going to be trauma, isn't it? I don't half have these blooming streams where I'm putting myself to the test in front of everybody here. Yeah, I found a socket here. I'm just going to try and straighten the pins up. It's been in a component tray there. Normally I'll stick these sockets into each other to keep the legs straight. One or two that are really bent there, actually. I wonder if that's a reclaimed one. Let me see if I've got a better one. I've got a load of 40-pin sockets here. Yeah, that one's looking better. That's not good as new, that one, I think. Yeah, we'll stick with that one on there. It's not got the strut in the middle, but nevertheless it'll be okay. So some of these are more structurally sound than others, can you see? And it's not that I've cut it out, it's designed that way. Some of these really cheap ones don't have a bridge in the middle there. But anyway, it will do the job. So let's just carefully detach that again. Pull the board out, put that on the mat. Just earth myself. So I'll set you up over here, I think. Hang on a minute, where's the camera? Yeah, there we go. I'm not sure what happened there, guys. Sorry about that. Interruption. Technical glitch. Right. Let's just bring a piece of kitchen roll over, because what I'm going to do is just literally eject the solder contents onto that. We'll just use the solder pump. I prefer to use the solder pump. I'll turn the soldering iron down a little bit, actually. I'm going to go down from 400 down to 360, I think. I might need to turn it back up again. Hang on, there now. Let's just switch that off. Yeah, so change that to 3. I'm going to go 360. We'll see how we get on with that. Might be a bit high. Lower RAM is refreshed by the ULA since the screen sits at 16384. Coming from Stephen there. Just testing this solder pump here. You know what? Throw my head with the other day, but it's been cleaned out since then. But you should be able to pretend you're the CPU on the edge connector. Oh, that sounds interesting. I think it's talking about a possibility of, I don't know, some sort of accelerator for the Amiga. That would be interesting. Yeah, pretend you're the CPU, disable the CPU. You might need to remove the CPU, I don't know. So let's just remove that heatsink again. You must be sick of seeing me screw that back on and remove it again. There we go. Just get there. So I'll flip it over. I'm just going to do a Jan beta actually, just mark the underneath of this just so. There we go. I don't get the wrong chip, because there is another chip, there's a ROM here, isn't there? And it'd be easy just to suddenly start desoldering the wrong side of the wrong IC. we'll try without adding any additional solder here. Can you see that still? Yeah, I'll try and zoom you a little bit. And step you back a little bit. Let's just see if I can get approximate area. So it's this IC here. Yeah, you can just about see that. Sorry, you can't get much closer than that. Yeah, I'm going to have some solder, I think. And I might need to go higher. Yeah, there we go, it's alright. Yeah, solder came off there nicely. That squeaking is me. There you go, trying to put a bit of pressure on the pen to lift it straight, because they're not straight aligned. They've been bent over when they've been fitted on here. Just give that one another go. Yeah, they're coming off okay, these. It might not take too long to fly through this. Talking about TV, things to pass time. If you want to watch something else on Netflix that's good, if you've not already seen it, the Black Mirror stuff. There's 3 or 4 seasons of Black Mirror, but also a special there. I forgot what it's called now, but it's like an interactive one, isn't it? It's an interactive thing on Netflix where you choose the decisions at various points of it's like a film, and it's kind of it's got spectrums in it. It's about forget the name of it. Someone will post it below, but it's about creating games in the 80s. It's a good film, actually. Well, it's an okay film. It's an interesting experience if you've never seen that. It's called Bandersnatch or something, I think it is. Black Mirror Bandersnatch. Yeah, that's worth watching. Halfway through the first side here. I mean, if this doesn't fix it, there's nothing really lost. It's useful to have this socketed here anyway. And you know what? I've got a Z80, and I'll be honest, I don't even know whether it's 100%. We could be putting taking one faulty and one line Z80 off here and putting another one with the same fault. Or the other one might not even work. I don't know. I think it does. It was one that was, I think it was in Allison's stuff. It was in Allison's collection of ICs, so. I've also got a ULA as well, actually, now I think ahead. So we could just try the ULA if this doesn't work. Yeah, I think all right there. Let's just give that a little brush. Yeah, there's 1 or 2 that are going to be going over, though. Like that one there. And that one there's not appearing to be as free as it could be. Electron Ash, yeah, Bandersnatch was awesome. Yeah, there we go, it was Bandersnatch. Yeah, but that Black Mirror is really good. There were some really good episodes. There's a few memorable ones that I want to watch again. I might watch them while I've got this time. I might watch one this evening or something at some point. There's one that's like a Star Trek sort of based thing. I really don't want to spoil it, but you should, yeah, you should watch that. It's like a guy who's in a computer has managed to create like a virtual reality, and you can literally, plug yourself into it, and it's like really being there. And it's like he's created a game around it. It's like a Star Trek based game where you go in there and it's like real life. I won't tell you anything else about it because we'll spoil the story, but that's a really good episode. It's memorable. I remember it. Getting near the end of the first side here. Of course, the least amount of time you heat these Spectrum boards, the better. I remember actually, one of the first things I started with was a Spectrum board. It was like, I never desoldered before. What was my boss giving me? A Spectrum. Could have given me anything else, that would have been easier to to work with, but no, he gave me a Spectrum. You know what? That needed about 7 wires by the time I'd finished it. Because I, you know, literally made all the mistakes that you make when you first start. Too much heat, too long, not enough solder, no flux or whatever, and wrenching things off when they're not ready to come off. I look back now, I feel guilty about that. I feel sorry for the person who owned that board, because it come in as a, you know, commercial repair, and he'd entrusted me with it for my first job. And he knew I was going to make mistakes. He laughed actually when I broke the trace. I was dead upset, because I was only about 17 or something at the time, and it was, you know, never done anything like that. It was pretty stressful for me back then, learning it all for the first time, making those mistakes. So can you see, if you look at the pins here, yeah, you can start to see, I mean that end one there I'm not sure about, you can start to see the pad exposed there. So that's a good sign that most of the solder's off that side. Let's do the other side. Sorry this is taking so long, but it's one of these things that I don't want to rush it. If you do rush it, mistakes happen. And can you still see that if I rotate that way? Yeah, you can't really see very well here, can you? I'm sorry about that. What I'm doing with these is adding some solder and flux, and then heating and lifting it, because they are bent over. That's what the squeaking is. That one's straightened out pretty easy. The other thing I'll point out here, don't be afraid of pushing the solder tip right into the solder point, because these are designed, you know, this, sorry I can't really see it, this plastic tip here, you know, they don't melt that easy. You can see that is melted on the end there, but they don't melt that easy. It's a like high melting point plastic. It's kind of designed to be, you know, pressed right into the point there as you're about to eject it. But some people don't realise that. I see people on videos, they do this, they heat the point like that, and then pull the iron away, and then go like that. Yeah, that's not really going to work very well. I mean, it did a little bit there, but not a lot. You've got to be have the suction there at the point when it's molten, or you just don't get the solder off. That one's not soldering at all. What's going on with that? I'll come back to that one. That one's not desoldering. Sorry if the camera angle is so awful. I mean, my hand's in the way, isn't it? Every time I do that. Let me see if there's. Let me think about it. If I rotate the camera around here, you might be able to see a little bit more. I'll put you on this side here. Hold on a minute. We need to get the power for the camera. That was nearly a fatal mistake, wasn't it? Who's posted? No. Bad words. What the fuck are you kidding me? Right, he's going. Yeah, hang on a minute. I've just hidden that complete clown. I hope he's not being annoying anybody. Yeah, sorry about that. Right, anyway, if I rotate you around this way, yeah, I think we had someone there kicking off about something, I don't know what. I'll tell you what, let me see here. What's annoying is they can't tilt this thing any further than it already is. I'm just going to redo those last couple there, because they were the ones I was struggling with. And you could argue that this is a quicker way of doing it, it's just to add some solder onto each one of the pins. That one doesn't seem to want to unblock. I wonder if it's like a ground rail or something. The power rail. A third from the end there. Yeah, I got some block now. Yeah, now that one's not unblocking. It's okay now. Another thing I'll say, if you're tempted to consider using hot air to remove one of these, I'd think twice. Certainly on the earlier boards, I don't think it would sustain it, if I'm honest. The fiberglass or whatever these are made from, it's not very thick and it's not very temperature resistant to start with. You might get away with it. If you do try it, let me know how it goes. I don't think I would want to try it on these. I'd just prefer to just spend extra time going revisiting pins and trying other things, other ways to free the pins up rather than going at one of these with hot air. Because of course, when you look at something like I don't know, a Neo Geo board or the Amiga 4000 board, there, it's like there's more than 2 layers, isn't there? I think there's like a ground layer and a VCC layer somewhere in that board there. I'm sure there is, because some of the caps there, it's obvious to me when you actually look at them. There's 1 or 2 where I've fixed a cap. Sorry, I'm a bit far back, aren't I? There we go. Yeah, it's obvious when I look at some of the caps on that 4000 board there. There were 1 or 2 where the pads have sort of gone, just in 1 or 2 locations, and you try and follow them, and there's no traces on either side. So it's clear that it's an internal layer. But that doesn't matter so much as long as you've got pads on one side you can solder onto. You do then ultimately make a connection to the layer through the through hole. Oh, it's stuck on there then. How did it hook onto that then? It seemed to stick to the pin. Bend it over a little bit. I'm not looking forward to the point in a minute when we come to get this off. How easy is it going to be? It really depends on how well I've removed the solder. Let's just give that a brush again, because we're getting quite a few bits of solder building up on there. We're nearly there now. We're about 75% of the way done. Changing the Z80 CPU. Once you get the knack of it, I think it helps prevent damage to the pads, as you can hover the desoldering tip on the pads without applying too much pressure. I've got the Heiko FR301, love it. Yeah, a lot of people recommend that Heiko actually. That's the desoldering one, isn't it? I think. Or is that another standalone soldering station like this one? I'm not sure. Yeah, this soldering station was supplied by Dermot Sweeney actually. Thank you very much, Dermot. I used it a lot on the last few streams there. Again, I got hooked onto that pin there, look. It's because the point on the iron is like a hook. So I don't know why I'm surprised when it keeps happening. Right, let's just get some solder onto these other pins because I haven't added solder on these. And I'll try and bend them at the same time. You heat them, bend it straighten up a little bit. Yeah, what was that guy going on about that? He was going, no, 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 and then swearing a load. What, was he not like my technique? What is it he doesn't like? Does he not like it because we're on the carpet? We aren't actually on the carpet. This is the thing, People have got nothing better to do than go onto streams and start trying to find things to moan about. These are the sort of people, God forbid if you're married to them, have to live with them. That someone like that would drive me to despair. There we go, solder's coming away. That one's not. What is going on with that one now? Let's add a bit more solder. Last 3 pins Some of these desolder much easier than others. It really depends on the traces on it, doesn't it? Oh, it's firing on its own now. That one is not playing ball. I'll revisit it in a sec. Right. Yeah, we've still got one or two there that I just need to revisit. So you can see lots of solder removed, but there's the odd one like that second to end there. So let me just inspect now to see which ones definitely need some work and which ones don't. There's quite a lot of them actually that are still snapped on, that are still on the edges there. It looks like the solder's all off, but they're kind of like still, you know, out to the side, like at an angle like that, touching the edge. That is the problem. Try that second to end pin again there. Can't get the solder now. Where's my solder gone? Let's just get a little bit of WD-40 into that solder sucker. After it's been used for a while, it stops getting as much suction. So, and obviously you do get bits of solder in there, but that isn't the issue. It just needs a bit of a spray. Sorry, I zoomed in really close there. There we go. That'll make all the difference. It's firing itself now. It's got a mind of its own. Let's just try and start moving some of these. See if they move. Oop. Yeah, none of these. I would say none of these are moving like I would expect them to. Not one, I don't think. Let me have a look on the other side. Hang on a sec. Yeah, some of these are much better than others. I think I'm going to have to literally go over every single one once at least to just make sure that the solder has been freed up. Yeah, you see that made a big difference. It might be because we lost suction part way around. Certainly on one side here, the second side. Oop, bent that pin right over there then. Oh, and again. Oh, come on. I think that pad there's not so clever, just from being heated so blooming much. Oh. Yeah, lots of solder has come off with that now. Let me just have an inspection. Yeah, that second pin is still problematic. I'm not sure if it's going to be advantageous to get a bit of flux on one side and a little bit of the solder braid on that side, just to try and mop up from the other side, because, you know, one or two of the pins down here, you know, you've got still a fair bit of solder, you know. That's the thing. So I mean, like our normal technique of trying to free them up, it's not going to work very well until more solder's removed. Some of those there are free, others not so much. Just bear with me. Duratool for the win. Yeah, maybe I should just get the Duratool onto it. Go on, let's just give it one pass with the Duratool to finish it off, because hopefully it might be able to get that off without too much issue. I just don't know whether the Duratool is going to block, you know, fairly early on. The thing with the Duratool, if you leave it heating up for, let's say, 20 minutes before you use it, it will seldom block. It never blocks. But in the first 20 minutes, because it perhaps hasn't warmed up as much as it should have done, the element is not as hot as it should be. The internal parts are not as warm as they should be. You know, the bit where the tube is and stuff, the collection thing. And ultimately it starts to stick in the nozzle because it isn't warmed up enough. Yeah, someone said flux and braid. Yeah, I think, and I've done that sort of thing in the past. I've perhaps shot videos where I may now, if I was doing this as a normal video, what I'd probably do if I've got my time is get a bit of flux in here and just try and suck the solder off this side here, and then perhaps just inspect and do one more pass on that side. But it might just be quicker and easier if I just use the Duratool. So we'll just let that heat up for a second. I'll turn the I'll leave it. Oh, hang on, I'll turn it down a little bit. And we'll give that a go. Duratool we're doing it half the time. Yes, I'm not sure mine would. I think with mine it would have blocked in the first few minutes, and then they'd be like trying to unblock the darn thing. Probably. We'll see. Let's see what happens. Which temperature do you usually set the Duratool to? Depends on what I'm actually desoldering. Something like this, and because this thing's not heated up properly, even when it gets to temperature, it won't be warm enough. I'd probably set this to around 400 actually. But if it would warmed up, probably 360 or 350 for something like this. Someone said there, tend to around 350. Yeah, that's right. I think if you've got good kit, good kit that is giving you an accurate temperature reading, 350 is generally okay. You might need to, if you were doing something like on an ST, trying to remove I don't know, a processor or something from an Atari ST, or DRAM on an A500, you may need to go between 400 and 450. It can be quite hard to remove some of those chips on those Amiga and ST boards, but on something like this, nearer to 350 is probably what you're aiming for. Anyway, it's approaching temperature now. Let's give it a minute. Retro Games Collector, my favourite bit of kit, my Duratool. Yeah. Bear in mind this is like a Duratool clone, so just testing it to see if it's blocked already. It isn't. It may well be within a second or two. Let me zoom you back out a little bit, because yeah, it might just be a bit easier. You don't need to see so much of so much of a close-up there. Okay, let's start with the side we haven't redone. See, I'm not even sure that's actually sucking anything from the other side. Maybe it is. I've got a smaller nozzle on this as well from prior videos. Expecting the wife to come in and start moaning about this in a minute. I hope she's not doing a language lesson or something. We'll inspect the top side in a sec just for this one side and see if that's made any difference. I mean, it should have done. Oh yeah, let's just put that over there. Once you don't melt the wires with the Heiko. And let's just have a quick look on that side there. Just give me a sec. Yeah, it's about the same. To be fair, it looks about the same. I don't know. You can tell there. It's pretty free on that side actually. It's deceptive because you can see. Yeah, you can see holes through there. So let's just do the other side. Yeah, that's the one with the awful pin, isn't it? It's this one here. I wouldn't be surprised if that pad goes at some point because I've had to use a fair bit of heat to try and free that one up with the solder pump. Now let's try in this corner. Still not sure about that pin. Or that one actually. Some of these are far easier than others. These ones are going alright. Nearly there. You don't want to press down too hard when you're doing this either. Obviously, that pressure could help free a pad up. Five more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Blast off. Yeah, so you can see in here there's hardly any solder. There's nothing, there's just a few little particles. Is that going to be sufficient? Let me have a look on the other side again. Yeah, it's a bit better. It's a bit better. See if we're ready to get that off. I think some of them are holding on still. Hang on, they've come through. Oh, there we go. I'm trying to grab them. They've actually come through. The chip has actually come off, look. You see that? There we go. That side's off. So let's just give the other side a go. I thought I was getting no resistance there. I was like, where have the pins gone? I started to think I'd broken them off, but no, I hadn't. I think that's it. Let's just turn that over. Let's just, where's my little, there we go. There you go, off. No worries at all. But the thing is, you know, I know people have been piping up going, you should use the Duracell, you can have it off in a minute. But I like to go slowly with these, and I'll be honest, I get more control with the Heiko and the solder pump than I will do sticking that thing on there. But I'm sure I'd probably would have been alright. I probably could have stuck that straight on there and done that without any issue. Anyway, we'll just clean up under there, inspect. One of these I've seen before where there was a broken trace under here. Despite having not prized any off, there was actually a broken connection around there prior to removing it. So it's always worth having an inspection on these anyway. Some of the other boards actually the older boards are more susceptible to bits of solder sticking on the top of the board and bridging things. You can see that on some of my older 48K Spectrum videos there. The ZX81's like that, where the traces here are not, there's no solder mask over some of the connections, so you can very easily, with a blob of solder, bridge something where you didn't intend to. So that's the sort of thing you would want to check on some of the older stuff, the older boards, older revs, certainly on the ZX81. Anyway, let me just inspect that with some magnification, but you can see we haven't lost any pads there. That's the key. Yeah, it looks alright, it looks good as new. I see no area of concern there, so let's carefully get the socket on and try it with another Z80. Hang on, have I got a bigger socket than... Yeah, that's a 41 pin, that's a 42 pin socket. Trust me to get the only 42 pin socket on the components socket tray thing there. Let's get this out here. Yeah, this is not the best way of storing sockets here. I have lots of them in other drawers as well. I've just got that many sockets. Some of them just end up overflowing into here. I'm just thinking whether I should fit a turn pin, actually. Because the legs on this one are shorter, aren't they? Yeah, I'm going to fit a turn pin. Yeah, just inspect that. Looks alright. Looks alright. There we go. Flip it over. Pin one's the right way around. Anyway, that's the hard bit done, isn't it? Sorry that's took so long, guys, but as I say, I don't want to rush it. Well, multiple reasons. The last thing I want to do is damage something like this on live stream. I've had enough things that people can laugh at with these live streams without me wrenching traces off a Spectrum. There we go, let's just inspect it. Yeah, that's looking straight, isn't it? It's flush and flat. Right. Just turning that a bit. I'm used to going sort of sideways here. Let's just reflow those. There are wires as well on this side. You need to be careful you don't bridge to when you're soldering the pins like this. Yeah, I think the issue with the other Spectrum, in terms of the Future was 8-bit cart there, I think it's going to be something to do with the mod. It either needs, maybe I'll do the mod, the other mods you can do, get rid of that dead bug thing off the top of it and do the other one. That might solve that one. Because that one works perfectly with the Lothrak cart. You saw me load School Days on it before. I've played a few different games off camera on it. Nearly there, 75% done, one more. Sorry, I've not been very interactive while I've been doing this. I've been totally focused on what I've been doing. It's one reason why I was a bit apprehensive about doing it, because I knew that it would just suck up so much time and focus. I'm knackered after this, I need my tea. And it's not particularly riveting to watch, is it? There we go. So yeah, we've got a re-point soldered on there. Yeah, we can clean it up later. But the next thing I want to do is just find a Z80, so just bear with me a sec. I thought the problem with the DivMMC Future was it fixed when you put the... Well, it was. It's not. It's been better with that firmware, but it's intermittent. It's totally intermittent. And as we've seen on this one, it doesn't work at all on this one, so... Yeah, I'm not having much luck with that, am I? Here we go, here's a Z80. Thank goodness it was right at the top of the component tray there. But again, we don't know whether this is 100% or not. It was one of Alison's, and the pins on this were totally mangled. I straightened them out somewhat. Well, very well actually, I straightened them out. Now the issue here is because we've got a turn pin. It could take me a few seconds to get this in, or a few minutes even. I don't even think one side's going to go in here. There we go, that side's all right. So let's just try the other side. What let's do with these, try one side first, then try the other side, and then try both together. Can you see what I'm doing here? Yeah. That's it, that's in. So let's stick it back in here. We can clean it all up afterwards. It might not make any difference. The look I've been having, probably not. And we don't really need to connect the keyboard. We'll take the keyboard over anyway, and let's just see how we get on. Let's just switch everything off here. Just get the power for that, and let's have a flight over there. And set off. So we'll try it as is, like that. I'll just inspect it, make sure the pins, they're not sticking out or anything on that. Right, with respect to pin 1, it is a Z80, isn't it? Z084, Z80 CPU, yeah. It's a proper Zilog one. Let's try power. Yep, that's a good sign. Yeah, so I'm not a complete moron, I haven't destroyed it or anything like that yet. So I'll switch it off. Where's the Future's 8-bit card? Get that in. Come on, please work. Please work. No, you see, look, it doesn't, that's not normal. That's not normal. And if I press the button, that's what happens. So, I don't know, maybe there's something else going on with this board. Right, let me try the one from Lothrak, so put that one in. Hang on. So connect to power again. Yeah, that's working now. So so we did have an M1 problem with this one, I think, probably. I mean, that might not be, I'm guessing. It could be all sorts of things, but we had a problem with that Z80 because this one wouldn't work at all. Now it looks like it's behaving normally, but it still leaves me with a dilemma of what is going on with this Future 8 with 8-bit card. I think it's a fault. I think the card is faulty. The card is faulty actually. So well, I'll just show you. We are, as you can see there, press the key, watch, press return. There we go. So that's normal, and you can see we are using the Lothrak one there. So I'll point you up. Let's try and load again on this one. And if this works, we've seen this work with both spectrums now. This the Lothrak one. Again, we're using RF, so you can see the same distorted image there that we had on the other one. It just needs composite mod. So let's go into games. Let's try. Let's try and pick something beginning with R. I don't know what. I can't think of anything. Oh, Rambo. Let's try that maybe. Rambo 3 maybe. I think that's 48k. Let's try that. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I should point you down here, you can hear the sound a bit better. Hang on, it's gone off now. It didn't stay on long, did it? Switch it off. Hang on, I've not got the heatsink on, have I? Yeah, I've not got the heatsink on. I've probably just, yeah, that's gone into thermal. Hang on, let me show you. that was probably almost a fatal mistake. I don't think it is. These will go into a thermal cut-off if you forget to put the heatsink on when they get super hot. So I think just on principle, actually, having seen me do that, I would swap that 7805 as well. I wouldn't actually risk it. I know that after that's cooled down, we can freeze it with a bit of freezer spray here. After that's cooled down, it will work, I'm sure. But, unless I'm really unlucky, unless it's just fried it, but it's probably unlikely. Let me just get my SD wrist strap on as well while I do this, because I'm going to have to pull the board out while I screw that blooming thing on. Yeah, when they get to a certain temperature, they cut out. Maybe it's because when the voltage level changes or something, it's like some sort of protection kicks in. I've seen that before on Mega Drives. I'll just connect that again. Yeah, I've seen that same behaviour on Mega Drives. If you get, if you remove the heatsink on those, you can see the same thing happen. Sorry if anybody's warned me about that actually before we came to test. I'm going to need to pull this blooming thing back out now, aren't I? There we go. So, right. Get the steerer strap on. Just carefully get this back through there. I'll clean up with cotton buds around here later because there's lots of that stuff moved all over the place. Look. Come on, go through the hole. So. Come on. Can't get the blooming nuts on. Yeah, because those regulators get super hot on these, even with the, as we've seen, with a proper power supply. There we go, that's screwed on there. Nice and tight. Yeah, as I say, if we're really unlucky, I've killed it. I don't think so. Come on, position. That's that. Connect video up again. Power. Yeah, it's back on again. So let's just try that again. Switch it off and connect the keyboard. Yeah, I learned from my mistakes. Press a key. There we go, that's working. Bring up the menu. And if we go down to, let's do that one again. What was that, Rambo, wasn't it? Rambo 3. Yeah. So let's define keys. 5. Let's do up, down, left, right, fire. Pause, we'll do P. And we'll do keyboard. Let's see. Can't remember how this works now. Is it a top-down thing? Oh, it's not. It's a shooting thing. Yeah, keyboard's working fine. Video's awful. I'll do another composite mod to this off camera. I ain't going to bore you with that again. But I need to do that before I do anything else to this. And we'll order another cap kit for this one. We'll get some heatsinks on the ULAs as well after, I think. But anyway, you can see that's working. And if I point you down here, you can hear the sound. Oh, hang on. Yeah, you can. Just... What was the fire key now? I can't remember. Oh, you can hear it clicking. Yeah, I've just died. Yeah. So, all okay, that one. Just needs a recap and a clean up and a composite mod. We'll try this again and give it the benefit of the doubt, but there's a fault with it. I'm convinced there's a fault with it. Maybe I'm just unlucky and got the bad one, or maybe that other Spec 48K one has killed it somehow or something. I don't know. You saw when we looked at that 48K rubber key one, we cleaned the connection on the PC was super clean, super clean. So I failed to see how that's killed it. And you can see the SD card, yeah. I know it's the right firmware because this has been booted at one point. And I'll point you back up just so you show you the random nature of this. Why? Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm live again. Sorry guys, hang on. Yeah, expect fun games when I'm doing these. If I press the NMI button, it's not doing anything. Power it off, power it on. Just watch, look, see you get weird things like that. And with a number of power ons and power offs,
you can sort of get it to start to behave. No, see, it's not loading Exydos there, look, it's just given up. But I have had this where it does. Let me try and lift the cart up a bit in case it's a bad connection somewhere. No, it's not. See, look, stuck on detecting devices. You get random behaviour with it. Yeah, look at that. Now that's right. I'm pressing the thing right down here. Hang on. Press the button. Look, we've got the menu up. And I'll show you what I'm having to do to get that. I'm convinced it's a bad connection somewhere, but it's not. It's not the board. It's not the Spectrum, because the other one is the same. I've done the same thing on the other one. Let me show you. I can't tilt the blooming thing there. Can I pull you back a little bit? To get that working, then I had to press this like that. Yeah. But it's the same in the other one, exactly the same, despite both of the edge connectors being super, super clean. I think there's a bad connection on the inside of here where it joins the PCB. That's what I think the issue is with this. So I've just been unlucky. It hasn't been used or anything. You saw it, I think in the first stream I did, it's a ESD bag. It's been sat like that for about 3 months in here. I just haven't had the chance to have a look at it. I was really looking forward to having a play with that, actually, so I'm a bit gutted that it seems to not work. Now you can see now, look, that's working, but it's stuck on detecting devices. I'll show you. Yeah, you can see there, look, stuck. Switch it off, I'll switch it back on again to see if anything's different. Look, it's bombed again. It says loading Exydos and bombs. But if I put some pressure on it, right, pressing it down now, plugging it in. Hang on, no, it's not doing it now. We'll try pulling it upwards a little bit while I put the power in. No, it's stuck on detecting devices again. I don't know, something a bit weird with it. Maybe you should try a different SD card, but I don't think the SD card would cause some of the things we're seeing there, actually. Don't know. Mystery. There you go, it's worked, look. But if you press the button, now the button's not working. Crashed it. So I don't know. I'll investigate further. What I might try and do is get some IPA and a toothbrush and actually, if I just make sure the power's off there. I might just get some IPA in there and have a brush in there in case some contamination's got off one of the boards there onto this or something. I don't know. Don't get it. Can you open these? I don't know. Can we prise this open? Because we might need to have a look what's going on with it. Anyway, I think I'm probably going to call that a day in terms of the stream. Let me just go over to the map. Let's clean that up anyway. Let's do that. I can catch up with the chat before we go, and perhaps we'll get our teas maybe. So let's try and clean the map a little bit before I do this. Just get these bits of solder off here. So that Z80, yeah, it's got a 40M1 line, hasn't it? That's what I originally thought with the first 48K rubber keyed one, but I don't think so. The fact that the DivIDE from Lothrak works on that, I think the M1's alright. So I've got a few people saying later guys there, hang on, I missed that. There's so many messages. Electron Ash, DivIDE 2-minute teardown. Yeah, I think I'll have to prise it to pieces because I think they're glued probably, aren't they? Just looking to see if I've missed anything critical. It's an ESD safe and nuts. Gremlins, Mark, that's greetings. Yeah, you're saying greetings. We're just about to go. Anyway, I'll clean this up. We'll give it one last try. I'm trying to think of the easiest way to clean that actually. Probably going to be some folded paper or something. But anyway, I could dip the toothbrush into some IPA here and just give it a bit of a clean. And I don't know. Could it be the SD card? Could it be the SD card? Let's say
you know, thinking out loud here, let's say I've got one of those crazy SD cards that doesn't like writing at a certain speed or something. Magic's reading from it, isn't it? And it's not reading's not the issue. The reading's pretty quick on them. I don't know. I can't see it being that, to be honest. Let's just get some folded paper here. Let's just fold it in a few times. It should be thick enough. And just give a little white like this here. Creased it there. Look. But these are brand new. You know, you can see it's a brand new, clean connect, so it can't be that. Yeah, it's looking pretty clean there. I've got a subtle bend in that pin there, look, in the middle. That's not good news, is it? Why is it slightly bent? That doesn't mean it's misaligned. How is that bent like that? I'm not even sure how to straighten that, because it's a pretty thick, beefy pin, that, actually. There's my flat blade. It should be nearer to straight, that's for sure. I don't know, I can't bend that. It's really thick. Can you see? It's really thick. So, maybe it's not at this end here. I don't know. Is that a nail? I'm not sure what that is. Looks like a nail. Could that be misaligning it ever so slightly? I'm not really sure how to bend it back though. I don't know. It's not going to bend, is it? Anyway, let's go and try it again, and then we'll get off. If you've got any questions, now's the time before I go and get my tea. I might probably have a break tomorrow. I'll get a normal video up tomorrow for people from Patreons, and then we'll perhaps I don't know, resume later. What day is it today? It's Easter tomorrow, isn't it? Sunday. Perhaps resume it early next week, maybe. So let's get that up. Oh, so it's firmly in. It's firmly in. Let's try and get the power again. Nope, just bombed straight out. Yeah. Well, with that, I think I'm going to call it quits and speak to the Future's 8-bit. I forget his name now. And see what he can suggest. He might just say send it back and I'll have a look at it. But there's definitely something. Let me try and lift it again. It's really weird. Look, see how when I lift it, look, it works. Let me show you. I'm trying not to release the thing here while I do it. Can you see? I'm pressing that way up like that, and it works. It does the same. It did the same on the other one. So there is a fault with it. It's got a bad connection or something inside it. That's the answer. I've just been unlucky. Unfortunately, it doesn't stay working. So you've got to hold it. Try that again. Yeah, I'm holding it up. Look, it's working. Let's see if I can press the button while I'm holding it like that. Yeah, look, I'm pressing the button while I'm putting pressure on, it's working. So it is a bad connection without a doubt. Let's just see if I can load some up while I hold it. It's pretty difficult to do. Let's go to new releases. Is that doing anything or is it giving up? No, it's working. Look, let's try. Hang on, we need some 48K. Try that. I don't know what that is. Pac-Man, I think, is it? Valid colour. We press the button again. Try something else. Because I've never tried some of these things before on here. Wait a minute, we had Bubble Redux up there, didn't we? Like that. Oh, that's something else. Bouncing. Look, so that's working. So the cart does work. It's just a bad connection. If I release that, it's probably going to kill it now. Switch the power off and on. Let's try it again. Yeah, look, it's not working again. So there we go. Bad connection, guys. Thank you for staying with the stream. Thanks for joining multiple times today, if you have. Yeah, I need to clean up now and get some tea. Let's just turn you around. So yeah, thank you very, very much. Thanks for the donations and things. Thanks for everybody who's been helping in the comments there in the chat. And just for chatting amongst yourselves. You know, it's nice to see people chatting amongst themselves. That's one of the things I do if I join someone else's stream. If they're doing something like I'm doing, some boring desoldering or soldering work, it's good just to chat with like-minded people. So anyway, I wish you all the best. Everyone take care, stay safe,
Enjoy your evenings and your Easter weekend, and I'll see you next week. See you guys.